everybody. This is Elan. I am with my iZonOrlando. Thank you so much for joining us, continuing our Florida Film Festival coverage for 2014. I am inside wonderful Winter Park Village, outside of the Regal Cinemas. It's the secondary location for the film festival, with the great pleasure of interviewing director Elan Judkins. I could drop some names. He's done some wonderful movies like Schindler's List or Jurassic Park, or possibly like Lincoln, which he wasn't nominated for an Academy Award for last year. He is a two-time winner. So, Mr. Judkins, thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm really happy to be here. And I just want to clarify, I worked on those films. I do sound. That's my day job. I do production sound. When the actors come out on set and they speak their original lines, I make those recordings and I turn it in at the end of the day, and then I don't generally see or hear it again until I go see the movie. So that supports my passion, which is making films myself.
Well, I appreciate the clarification, but around here, an Oscar is a nomination, regardless of what you did. But we are here to talk about your directorial work for Finding Neighbors, which is the talk of the town. I've been hearing buzz about it all over the city, so I'm really, really excited to hear your take. Can you start with telling us a little bit about the film?
Well, I had made a previous film called The High Line that went to Sundance in 1999. And I thought that would sort of catapult me into sort of studio filmmaking, and it did in a way. I got an agent and did the whole Hollywood thing, and we were like writing scripts, and I was taking notes on scripts and trying to attach actors to projects. And 10 years went by, and no films got made, and the whole thing just sort of collapsed. So I kind of got back to where I'd been 10 years before, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to gather the resources that I have, my house, the house across the street, and create a story around what is free for us to make a movie. And I want to tell a story about a guy in a very similar position. Sam Tucker in the movie was a graphic novelist who was at the top of his game 15 years ago and hasn't done anything since, really. And he sort of hit the creative midlife crisis wall. His wife starts thinking he's having an affair with this girl next door, but he's actually doing something completely different. And to find out, you have to come see the movie. But I found that there were a lot of people in my sort of age group, that sort of tail end of the baby boomer generation, who were kind of in a similar position, who were really full of passion in their 20s and 30s earlier in life, and then like 30 years go by, and now what? So it's, a lot of people have called this film a coming of age story for middle age. So, and I love that description. So that's kind of precisely what it is.
Well, I'm super excited to see it. And with the film festival circuit, you mentioned Sundance, now you're at the Florida Film Festival. Is the independent film circuit a place you like to be? Is that, you have the Hollywood experience. What are some of the differences, and what do you like about being in the independent film circuit?
Well, for a lot of independent films, these festivals, that becomes the theatrical release of the movie. It really is the only place that these films will ever screen on a big theater screen. Not to say that they don't get released. They go to iTunes or they go to Netflix and those kinds of like video on demand. But I love being at the festival because I meet like-minded people who are up to the same thing I am, in terms of making films, and it's always completely inspirational for me to be a part of that.
So talk to me a little bit about the process. What was the most difficult thing that you thought you were going to have, a part of making Finding Neighbors, and then what ended up actually being, a challenge that you didn't foresee? And you can tell me some, great things too that you discovered.
I have to think about that for a minute.
Good. We like thought-provoking questions on my iZonOrlando.
One of the most difficult things about making independent films, especially what we call micro-budget films, where you have a little money, but you don't have a lot of money. You really have to cram your shooting time into a short period of time. So we shot for 21 days in our neighborhood, and it's so difficult to maintain any kind of emotional continuity between the scenes, because you shoot the movies out of sequence. So you might shoot the last scene first and the first scene last.
Yeah, you hear about
and it's
that.
Really difficult for the whole crew, the actors and the director, to sort of know where they are at any particular time. And then you get tired, and it's just really difficult. So if there was something I could change about that, it would be, and I keep telling my wife, next time I want to do a film with like a lot less money, with a smaller crew, and just shoot on weekends, but it's a completely different kind of film. But I want to explore that model next time. The other thing, and Judy, the producer, was talking about this earlier, we were discussing it, is that you shoot the movie. We all sort of come from filmmaking. Judy's a short film director and producer herself, So we know the mechanics of it, like we know I'm very familiar with the set. I feel very comfortable there, and editing the movie, and then like getting it out, that becomes something that's completely not part of our skill set, and I don't think none of us realize how difficult that would be, Just in terms, we're having a really great festival run with it. We started at the Austin Film Festival. We won the Best of Festival Award at the Richmond Film Festival, and we have a few more festivals coming in the next few months. But even then, it's it's submitting to the festivals, it's staying on top of that, and time goes by.
I think you touched on something that something you can do, viewers. Speaking with Judy earlier, and you just touched on it, getting the word out about the film. How important is social media to getting out the word, getting the film out? Is that like on Facebook something that can really make a difference? Because if so, we want our viewers to definitely go out and do it.
Oh my God, I'm so glad you brought that up, because there's a thing that is very important that people can do for our movie, and social media is crucially important, because we are in discussions with several distributors right now, and the distributors want to see that there's a groundswell of support for the movie. And one of the ways they gauge that is how many likes you have on your Facebook page. So at the various festivals we go and we talk to people, and we get email lists, and we engage people, and we try to get them to like the movie. Having said that, I always try to provide something of value for them. Like today, I went out to Full Sail University and talked to a bunch of students, and asked them to like the movie. But I also invited them to maintain a relationship with me and ask me questions and consider me a resource in terms of their careers and moving forward. But if you go to our Facebook page, which is Finding Neighbors Movie on Facebook, just like us. It's so simple. You can do it, and it makes a big difference, and it's a huge help for us.
Okay, so you had it from the man himself. Go to Facebook, go to Finding Neighbors Movie, hit the like button. You can stay updated on all of the festival appearances that Finding Neighbors movie has and what's next for them, so that you don't get out of the loop.
And there have been so many people at the festivals that'll come up to me later and they go, "Oh, I missed your screening. Where can I see it?" And all the people that like us and become part of our neighbor community, will be updated. And when the movie comes out on Netflix or iTunes, you'll be the first to know, and you can watch the movie.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much, Director Ron Judkins. Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. It was great to speak with you. So keep updated on Facebook. They've got Twitter and all the other social media. Stay updated. I'm Elan. We do.
It's happening.
It's happening, so don't miss it. I'm Elan with My Eyes on Orlando.
I'm Ron Judkins, and thank you for viewing.